Good day to you, Laura Johnson, along with you here at the Midwest Ag Expo, and with me, press announcer from the I&I Antique Tractor and Gas Engine Club and the Half Century of Progress. I have with me Chris Karr. How are you doing today, sir?
Good. Good morning, and isn't it a nice day to have a show like this?
I'll tell you what, well, it doesn't really matter if it's a nice day or if it's a bad day. It's nice and heated inside Gordyville, so it's perfect.
It's just bringing in a lot of people today, and it is almost perfect because there's so much to see in here. It's just mind-boggling, and you know, you're going to ask farmers, well, why do you keep coming back here? Well, we keep seeing things that maybe a little different than before, and we get ideas and take them back to the farm and maybe actually apply them to what we're trying to do to make this thing work.
Well, I know that they've posed a lot of challenges here within the last couple of years, so they're trying to find any way to keep themselves innovative and also make sure that the input costs that they have going in stretches well, and so they're here to network and see if they can get some of those questions answered before planting starts.
And I think a lot of it in our particular case in our farming operation, my son's helping us or farming with us, so you see the older generation, the dads, and then the sons, and then when they walk through here and see some of this stuff, they can kind of talk about that and say, well, how does this going to work? What can we tweak, like you say, to make this work a little better? Maybe we can apply it to our own situation.
And, of course, things that are a little bit different, although we still see a few tries and trues, but out here at the I&I area, which is on the far south side of the building, get to see quite a few of the tractors that are around here, too.
The old tractors, and yes, we're already getting ready for the summer, and our summer show featuring Case this coming summer, so we don't want to forget to put that on your calendar. You hear every once in a while, mark your calendar, mark your calendar. Well, that's what we want you to do on this really cold day in January so that you don't forget our show this summer.
Well, the I&I Antique Tractor and Gas Engine Club, not only do they hold the historic farm days, and then they do assist with the Half Century of Progress every other year, and Rantoul we had it last year, so we're going to begin an off year at this point. There's still lots of activities that they do all throughout the year, and coming up in March is the swap meet and the farm toy show, so there's still lots of things that you could take part in Penfield.
We'll talk a little bit about that. I collect toys, so I'm really looking forward and would invite people to come on Friday evening, March the 18th at Penfield. At the grounds. We're going to start the toy auction at 5:30 p.m. And then, just kicking right into the next morning, on Saturday morning, we have our swap meet auction. And that starts at 10 o'clock, so don't forget to mark your calendars about that. Again, the toy auction on Friday evening, March 18th, and Saturday morning, the swap meet at 10 o'clock in the morning.
And there's a good amount of people that bring in a lot of used equipment. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be antique per se, but, something that's in the shed that still can get a new home is something pretty easy to bring in and, again, get it into a new home. Somebody else is able to either A, enjoy it, or B, could certainly use it.
That's right. And, you're talking about, we would invite people to come in and consign with the club that pieces of equipment and things they want to get. That's taking up shed space. And we'd also invite those people that need some stuff and want to see some of this equipment for sale, come in and look at that. Come and see that.
And, of course, on questions on that, I mean, this is certainly a time to do that. If you're going into the shed before you start planting, this is a great time to see if there's something that you want to get into consignment, and you can get in touch with Chuck Stelter to basically get those consignments started, right?
Yes, that's right. Barry Mowry is going to do the toy auction, and, of course, look at our website and see that. Contact anybody on that committee for for both of those, the toy show and the swap meet.
Alrighty, and also, again, getting in touch with Barry, you can do that at 202-9067. Also, Chuck Stelter at 497-7686. And so that is in March, and then coming up in July, again, the I&I Antique Tractor and Gas Engine Club's historic farm days. So going back to Penfield, and it's fascinating to see a town of 200 blow up into a town of 20,000 in just 4 days.
Yes, a lot of work goes into that, and we need to always thank our club members and all those that help volunteer, the businesses that support that, and all of that has to happen first. We have to get ready, so to speak. So we and the club always want to say thank you for those volunteers and that investment. And yes, those companies get advertisement from doing that, but boy, it takes an awful lot of work, and then we just wake up on July the 7th or whenever that show is, and it just turns out to be a really neat 4-day show.
And also coming up again, the Historic Farm Days, July 7th through the 10th over in Penfield. Now, if anybody wants to become a part of the INT Tractor and Gas Engine Club, I mean, it's very easy to show up to the meetings. You don't necessarily have to have a tractor yourself to be a part of the club. You just have a interest in being able to preserve a little bit of history. And the meetings over in Penfield about the second Tuesday of every month.
Yes, second Tuesday of every month in the grade school in Penfield. We have a social hour. We call it a social hour. We start about 6, talk, and really it's fun to talk to people. We have a lot of good members. Members come over from Indiana and everywhere. Oh my goodness, Beeman, Illinois, Tuscola, Arcola, Terre Haute, towns in Indiana. So we have a lot of really neat people. We get a chance to talk, and then at 7 we have our business meeting, and then we plan the next event or the next thing coming up.
And of course, if you want any extra details, you can also check out their website at antiquefarm.org to get any details again on the Historic Farm Days or also other stuff as part of the I&I Antique Tractor and Gas Engine Club. Well, Chris, it was so good to talk to you today.
Very good. Thanks an awful lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks. That is Chris, the press announcer from the I&I Club, as well as the Half Century of Progress, as we are continuing on here at the Midwest Ag Expo in Gordyville. We'll be back here in a bit. For WITY, I'm Laura Johnson.